Welcome to the George Groves Boxing Club. I am George Groves and I am here to talk to you about this weekend's boxing. This is my breakdown video of what Daniel Dubois needs to do to win his mega fight, unified heavyweight title fight this weekend against Oleksandr Usyk. It's Wembley Stadium and these guys are running it back. They done it 2 years ago out in Poland, August 2023. Usyk came out on top. There was loads of drama. Daniel Dubois boxed pretty well. He had Usyk on the floor, although it was a low blow. But they're questioning whether it was a low blow. I think it was a low blow. But that said, he boxed well. Usyk boxed great. And ultimately, maybe Daniel Dubois ran out of steam, ran out of ideas, and Usyk stopped him. Usyk, we know, has gone on since and completed boxing, beat Tyson Fury, and then beat him again. But Daniel Dubois himself has also been on a great run of form. He's got some great names on his record. And the last time out against Anthony Joshua, in the same place he's fighting this weekend, Wembley Stadium, he put on a performance of his career. He rose to the occasion, dealt with the pressure, stepped up to the plate, and boom, really just excelled and showed everyone that actually he might be the real future of the heavyweight division. Lots of people are picking him to beat Usyk this weekend. I'm not quite sure, and I'm probably not going to give my prediction right at the end of this video, but I would not be surprised, and I think a lot of people will, if Daniel Dubois goes out there and does a job. So I'm going to break down how I think the fight should go for Daniel Dubois, what he needs to do, what he needs to implement, the tactics he needs to employ to get a victory over Oleksandr Usyk. It won't be easy. He has the ability to do it. Let's see if he can go out and do it. So, this is a bit of breakdown for the Daniel Dubois tactics. Right, so Dubois ring walked. He's up for it. He looks like he's in the zone. And he's planning to start quick. And everyone has said he needs to start fast. He needs to jump on him early. He doesn't want Usyk to gain any momentum or build throughout this fight. Get him, hurt him, hit him hard early, and that all makes sense. But how do you do that? How do you do that? This is something that Daniel Dubois does, which I think he should maybe take out when he's fighting Usyk this time. Now, Daniel Dubois, for such a big guy, and someone who sits in the quad so much, and hopefully this ain't messing up the video, loves to bounce, loves to bounce. Now, I get it. I don't know a load of fighters who do put that bounce in because it puts them in a sharper frame of mind. It does, like, you feel quicker when you're bouncing. But for Daniel Dubois, he's never rarely in a threatening position when he's bouncing that way. Especially against someone like Usyk, who is very sharp, very agile, and every time you drop back, he eats up the room in front of you, eats up the space in front of you. That's what Daniel Dubois wants to be doing this time. He wants to be pressing, educated pressure. And when if Usyk comes out and he's bouncing, every time he bounces back, if you can nick an inch, orthodox, keep creeping in, that's the way to set your feet in the first, definitely the first half, definitely the first few rounds, if I'm Daniel Dubois. So take that bounce out, and I'm here. So what am I doing instead? Right, let's see if the camera can get down there. Right, it might work, might not. But excuse the derby. But the feet, I'm now in the quads a bit better. I'm in the quads and I can always still be sharp and drop back, but I'm here. Now, Daniel Dubois will do this once he starts having success in a few rounds' time. You see him, after he'd settled the first round against Anthony Joshua, then the bouncing came out and the pressing came in. But when he bounces, he does get caught at the end of the shot, right? Now, that's very dangerous against someone like Joshua because one shot, one punch at the end of the shot and catch you at that end range can do serious damage. Not necessarily always the same with Usyk because he's bouncy and he's not always screwing his toes into the floor. It's an accumulation of punches. But that'll be my first point of call for Daniel Dubois. Sit in them quads. He's got great big strong legs. That's where he is. The power comes when he drops back and shoots, of course, but take that bounce out. Step. So I talked about how I want Daniel Dubois to move around the ring. You know, I don't want him bouncing. I want him stepping and gliding. I want him creeping round to his right, trying to square up the southpaw man in front of him. And why do I want to do this? Because Daniel Dubois has to let that right hand go with venom to the chest, to the neck, to the throat, to the abdomen. Don't worry too much about the head. If it's there and you can throw straight over there, straight right to the head, maybe the odd one, but really you're here, you're creeping round, and it's this bent arm shot, boom, comes up, 45-degree angle, right? When that lands on you, oh, it's sickening, it's sickening. And if you're coming up at that 45-degree angle, right? Obviously, don't hit me in the nads, don't hit me in the nuts, you will complain. But come here, whoom, and if he starts to pull away, it might be the belly button, might be the chest, might be right up under the chin by the time it lands, right? You can throw that shot with relative safety, especially if you're creeping around to your right. You're stepping around to your right, as you step onto that right foot, the right foot's loaded, boom, wing it in, pull that head off the line if you need to. So imagine I'm in front of you, I've got, whoom, head's come off the line, left hand's dressed, obviously he's got to come back with his left hand if he wants, but that's a free shot. That's a free shot on Usyk, right? Because at best, he's going to eat it. If he don't, for him at best, he might block it. He's not going to be able to knock it down or parry it. If a straight right comes at you and you can knock it down, pull your head out of the way, you can make him miss, you can just, a nice little sharp head movement. But when it's coming winging into the chest, orthodox v southpaw, 9 times out of 10, you just got to brace it. And if you think, if I'm square, it's coming at me and I've only got my forearm to defend the whole body, and the body's a bit bigger than it used to be, but still, so is Usyk's, right? It start going through. They'll start going through. The man's got sharper feet than Dubois. Dubois is a very good boxer, but Usyk is an exceptional boxer. He's got every shot in the book. So you don't try and counter him. You don't try and necessarily like make him miss and then try and make him pay. Even catch and fire, you know, can work with him, certainly as he starts to tire and starts to go through the rounds, catching the pace settles. But you can just be in a position where as soon as he creeps into your range, whether you feel like you've got the right to punch or not, that right hook, come right uppercut to the body is a shot that will work, I believe, each and every time. It is a frightening shot. It's a frightening shot to have thrown at you. It's definitely a sickening one to get hit with. And I know Daniel Dubois is going to be thinking about targeting the body. That is a shot that he wants to throw. And it's almost like, it's predominantly, it's not about the way you throw it, it's about when you throw it. So again, as I say, not to catch, and you're not trying to defend something and shoot, you're just trying to keep him occupied. Of course, how could I forget? Where's the head movement, the feints? You know, lovely little feints from Daniel, lovely little hand movements. You know, he can show up, he can be here, but he keeps coming, little dips into them quads. He can do all night long. And that'll keep Usyk guessing. But he wants to slow the pace down. It's not like this, trying to match Usyk's herky-jerky pace and feints, if that's what Usyk's doing. He can be quick and you can be measured. You can be measured, relaxed, measured, here, here, here. And as soon as Usyk feints and twitches into range, whoom, that one's coming. Something might come straight after. You might shoot, step and shoot again. It's not a single shot. Plenty can come off it, but you throw it like it's cannonball time. I don't know, cannonball, Daniel, what is Daniel? Dynamite. You don't throw dynamite, do you? But that'll be his dynamite shot. Boom! There it goes, straight in there. Let's see if Usyk can deal with them. Let's see if Daniel Dubois can get them off. Get his head off the line, pivot, shoot again. And your last bit of tactics for Daniel Dubois will be, I wouldn't make it the be-all and end-all in the first couple of rounds. There's so much more important things to think about. But as I say, if you're creeping around to your right and then you're starting to have a bit of success, you might then think about changing that up a little bit. You might come around to your left as well after 5-6 rounds. But keep driving Usyk back. If you can keep driving him back, he's not the same force. He certainly can fight off the back foot, but what he wants you to do, always, guys, this of his style, is to switch you off. They give you so many different looks that you end up just standing still, and then they can go pop, 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 boom, and that last big shot comes over, right? If you can keep pressing someone so they have to keep adjusting, because every time something happens, every time they try to create the space, you take the space, you take the space. If he can keep pressing, but without, it's not desperate, you know? You just keep inching in, cutting the ring off, cutting the ring off. If Usyk breezes out this way, you can give him space to come out and come back to him. Come out and come back to him. Creep, 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 creep. Keep pressing. I think Usyk always looks tired by the end of the fight, but he's worked hard and he's always had to give away a lot of natural size. If you can force him to work hard where you're expending no energy, just because you are pressing, threatening behind high hands and just stealing that space time and time again, it can only serve you well. Most people, you say, to beat Usyk, he's such a genius, you need a knockout to win. That might be the case for Daniel Dubois. But if he starts getting himself into range, relaxing, forcing Usyk to fight at his tempo, and then landing on him, who's to say he couldn't stop him? I'm really looking forward to this weekend's action. If you think I might be on something with those tactics, you let me know. If I've got it wildly wrong, you let me know too. Please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. I sometimes forget to say how to say forget and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to put one up tomorrow about how Usyk wins. That might be easier, it might be harder. I mean, Usyk's a genius, what do I know? What do I not know? What is he yet to show us? Maybe there's a rabbit you can pull out the hat. Rabbit. Anyways, stay tuned. Good to see ya. Bye.